G'day, I'm RJ and I'm going to show you my latest ARMA 3 release, the ARJay Agent system. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is grab the test mission. You can grab that from the Dropbox or the Github. I'll include these links in the BI post and the video links. So once that's downloaded, we can just copy that into our missions folder. And then I'm just going to open it up in the single play editor. And you can see from the map that there's nothing really, there's no placement in the map, it's all handled via scripts for this one. I've got the mission set up so it can be played as a co-op mission, but to demonstrate things I'm just going to take out the units for the team so it's just me, and this will just be like as a single player mission. So I'll just give you a bit of an idea of the folder structure and the files. If you have a look in the mission folder, the README contains a lot of instructions on how to modify things and some handy information, so if you want to know more than what's in this video you should probably give that a read. So if you have a look in the ARJay folder, the main user editable parts are in the agent folder and the ARJay agent presets file. So I'll just load that up. In here is pretty much all of the editable parts for the agent system. There is a few other editable parts which I've written up in the README file, but for this demonstration I'll just show you what's the important parts of this file here. So probably the most important part of this file, if you scroll down to about line 94, is this code here. This basically determines what will be spawned, what side will be spawned in the different locations on the island. So you can see here's all the location names, and then we've got a bunch of data that controls how they're spawned. So at the moment you can see there's sort of a selection of civilian, west or blue 4 and east sides throughout all the different locations. Most of the towns are civilian, and then I've sort of split up the military bases between blue 4 and op 4. You can see the starting point here is near Agios Oanis. So if you have a look at that in this, you can see that's going to be occupied by civilians. These settings here, the first one controls, basically agents are spawned according to how many buildings there are in the location. So this is quite a small town with only 4 buildings. So this first number is the probability that an agent will spawn in any building. So that's 100%, which basically means that each of these buildings will have an agent spawned in them. This second number controls the number of vehicles spawned per building, or if a vehicle will be spawned to a building. So that's about 50%. So there is some randomness there. So usually 2 of the 4 buildings will have a vehicle spawned, and sometimes there'll be none, and sometimes there might be 4, just depending on how the roll of the dice happens with the randomness. Alright, so let's have a look at how this actually plays out. Alright, so here we are. You can see that vehicles are spawned in, and there's our first agent just coming out of his house. So the agents are assigned to a house, which they will come back to and do things like housework and wander around. You can see this guy's just going off to have a look into the distance. So the agent system sort of provides a little bit of life to the fairly dead world that Stratis is just normally. So these guys are getting together to have a meeting. And there's a whole bunch of different AI subroutines which will make the agents do various different things. Sometimes they might jump in one of their cars and go for a drive somewhere. Sometimes they wander around the location. They get together for gatherings and talk to each other. I've got a few other settings that can do suicide bombers and make them sort of attack players, but which are kind of not working at the moment due to a Armor 3 bug. So hopefully that gets fixed soon. I can re-include those features. So say we wanted that to be occupied by a West group. Now we come to these numbers here. This is the probability that an agent will be a group leader. So if I leave it as this, it'll just be 4 individual West agents spawned in each of the buildings. But say I wanted to have say a 50% chance that each of those agents may be spawned with a group. So the smallest group is a fire team. So if we save that and have another look, okay, so we can see that the vehicles have changed to west side vehicles, and we can see a couple of fire teams have been spawned. So as with the civilian agents, the military units will perform various AI subroutines. Sometimes they might patrol around the location they were spawned in. Sometimes they might take a vehicle and go and patrol another location. If there's air transport nearby, they might jump in that and patrol on a wider radius. Looks like they're going to patrol. Maybe try some east. Actually, maybe we'll try a mixture. So if we'll say that east and west. So I've got map markers turned on at the moment, which will show you the composition. So you can see that the different locations that are occupied by the different forces. Sounds like someone's taking off for a heli patrol. Under fire. I might set the time of day to be nighttime, and then you can see some of the civilian activities for the night time. Let's put on some music. So you can see it in the evening, agents will turn on lights in their houses. And they might also turn on the radio.